Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the main news on Camnet TV, coming to you live on Topstar channel 106 as well as on Camstream app. We are also live on Facebook, Camnet TV, as well as on our YouTube channel, Camnet TV. Here are the headlines in our news tonight. Police officer kills wife, her stepbrother, then himself after suspected family dispute. FIC AG reports useless CAAC. July basic needs and nutritional basket drops by 160 kwacha. In international news, UN report warns of escalating threat from Islamic State and Al-QAIDA in Africa and Syria. And in sports news, Galatasaray smashes transfer record with 75 million euros. OSIMHEN signing. To join me with the details shortly after this break.
Every Monday to Thursday afternoon, join us for the Lunchtime Cafe. We get to bring to you emerging stories making the headlines, media news, and we remind you of what political leaders and governance actors said back in the days. In forgotten stories, we emphasize to you the importance of eating healthy foods and leading healthy lifestyles on the Nutrition Corner. Get the latest updates in sports and critical interviews. Because we value your contribution to national matters, we accord you an opportunity to share your perspectives during the viewers' reactions. The Camnet TV Lunchtime Cafe is an all-inclusive buffet. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
With the news in detail, my name is Sylvia Zulu. A police officer in Solwezi this morning shot dead his wife and her stepbrother before taking his own life in what police believe was a domestic dispute. The incident happened early in the morning of August 1st, 2025 in Solwezi and was reported to the police later that morning. Police spokesperson Ray Hamonga says the officer has been identified as Funkuta Muyembi, aged 46, who was based at Solwezi Central Police Station. Mr. Hamonga says the officer used a police-issued AK-47 rifle to shoot his wife, Womba Samulozela, aged 41, and her stepbrother, Dr. Wana Samulozela, aged 42, before turning the gun on himself. Investigations show that the officer collected the firearm early that morning, claiming he was going to follow up on a report. Police say the wife was shot on the left side of her ribs and her stepbrother was also shot in the same area. The bodies have since been taken to Solwezi General Hospital mortuary for post-mortem. Mr. Hamonga said police have launched a full investigation and called on the public to resolve family problems peacefully and avoid violence.
According to the report, female Womba Samulozela, age 41, and her stepbrother, Wana Samulozela, age 42, were fatally shot by Funkuta Muyembi, age 46, a police officer stationed at Solwezi Central Police Station, who was also the husband of the deceased Womba Samulozela. The incident is believed to have stemmed from an ongoing marital dispute. Police officers promptly responded to the scene and discovered all three deceased persons in the same room. The bodies of the two victims were found lying on the floor, while the body of the shooter was partially on the bed. Detailed observations of at the scene revealed the following. Female Womba Samulozela sustained a gunshot wound on the left side of the ribs with an exit wound on her back. Male Wana Samulozela was shot on the left side of the ribs, however no exit wound was observed. Funkuta Muyembi, the officer, sustained a gunshot wound to the right side of the neck with an exit wound on the back of the head. An AK-47 rifle, serial number 1674, was found clamped on his chest with the safety catch open, one round in the chamber and 2 rounds remaining in the magazine. The firearm was a police-issued weapon drawn by the officer earlier this morning at 050 hours, as recorded in the occurrence book at the inquiry's office. Officer Muyembi had indicated that he was following up a report at Matanda. Preliminary investigations suggest that the officer gained entry into the house using a spare key and proceeded to shoot his wife and her stepbrother before taking his own life. It has also been established that the couple had separated on the 30th of July 2025 following a series of marital disputes. The late Wana Samlozela has been identified as a medical doctor stationed at Solwezi Provincial Health Office, recently transferred from Lusaka. He has been residing with the couple at the time of the incident. Police have since instituted a full-scale investigation into the matter. All three bodies have been transported to Solwezi General Hospital mortuary, where they await postmortem examinations and subsequent burial.
For a family of 5 reduced by 160 kwacha 96 ngwe in July 2025, according to the Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection, JCTR. The monthly basket for Lusaka now stands at 11,602 kwacha 37 ngwe, down from 11,763 kwacha 38 ngwe in June, representing a 1.37% decrease. JCTR attributes the reduction to price drops in selected essential food and non-food items. Among the food items that recorded notable decreases were 2 kg of chicken, which dropped from 173 kwacha 32 ngwe to 146 kwacha 74 ngwe, and 1 kg of pounded groundnuts, which fell from 91 kwacha 52 ngwe to 63 kwacha 11 ngwe. On the non-food side, the price of a 90 kg bag of charcoal reduced from 736 kwacha 67 ngwe to 680 kwacha, providing a measure of relief for charcoal-dependent households. However, JCTR Social and Economic Development Program Officer Ms. Lukwesa Msonda warns that the slight drop in the overall basket does not reflect a meaningful improvement in the cost of living, particularly for lower-income households. She adds that while macroeconomic indicators such as a stronger kwacha and lower fuel prices suggest progress, these benefits have not trickled down to most homes.
The Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection's Basic Needs and Nutrition basket for a family of 5 in Lusaka stood at 11,602 kwacha in July 2025, down from 11,763 kwacha in June 2025, representing a 1.37% decrease. This modest reduction of 160 kwacha was largely attributed to price declines in essential food and non-food items. Under the essential food items section, 2 kg of chicken dropped from 173 kwacha to 146 kwacha, and 1 kg of pounded groundnuts fell from 91 kwacha to 63 kwacha. However, inflationary pressures persists in key nutritional items. The price of 1 kg of carpenter rose significantly to 446 kwacha from 388 kwacha, posing a risk to dietary diversity and protein intake, particularly among low-income households. Under the essential non-food items section, the price of a 90 kg bag of charcoal reduced to 680 kwacha from 736 kwacha in June 2025, offering a slight relief for charcoal-dependent households. Even with a slight decrease in the basic needs and nutrition basket, the financial burden on Zambian households remains substantial, reflecting the country's delicate economic recovery. Although headline indicators such as a stronger kwacha and falling fuel prices suggest macroeconomic progress, these gains have yet to translate into tangible improvements for most households. The widespread vulnerability in informal employment, marked by insufficient wages, a lack of social safety nets, and continuous underemployment, is a primary reason for this disconnect. Moreover, although national inflation rates have declined, the continued volatility of food is exacerbating barriers to essential needs such as nutritious foods, healthcare, and education.
The Community Action Against Corruption, CAAC, has described as useless the Financial Intelligence Center FIC and Auditor General's reports if law enforcement agencies continue to fail to arrest and prosecute individuals named in the reports. The organization says despite uncovering massive financial irregularities and corruption, the reports have become mere academic documents and gather dust at the Anti-Corruption Commission (SCC), Drug Enforcement Commission (DEC), and Public Accounts Committee (PSC). CAAC Chief Executive Officer Brighton Tembo has expressed concern that Zambia currently lacks strong and independent law enforcement agencies capable of acting on the findings presented in these oversight reports. He notes that this trend has weakened the credibility of the fight against corruption, with law enforcement appearing selective and ineffective in their approach. The organization has since called for urgent reforms to strengthen the independence and effectiveness of Zambia's investigative and prosecutorial bodies.
The release of the Financial Intelligence Center report and the Auditor General's report, these reports are slowly becoming academic because there is nothing of consequence that follow the release of these two reports. You can see that when the Financial Intelligence Center report is released, it is disseminated to law enforcement agencies where they just collect dust, looking at the amount of money involved. And the same happens to the Auditor General's report, which just ends up at the Public Accounts Committee at Parliament. Nothing much follows. So you can see that when you continue releasing reports that are not bringing out the desired results, then those reports become formality and academic. So we can do better if the people listed in these two reports have faced the consequences according to their evil deeds indicated in those reports. Unlike a situation where these reports now are just becoming academic, we release a report, this is Financial Intelligence Center 2024, nothing will happen, we start waiting for the 2025 Financial Intelligence Center, nothing of consequence will follow. So, at the moment, we feel the weak and selective approach to fight against corruption has further weakened the importance of these two reports. Otherwise, the reports at the moment, they are just academic and formality reports.
The Zambia Association of Manufacturers has urged government to implement urgent structural reforms to revitalize the country's industrial base, warning that continued inaction could cripple local production and worsen trade imbalances. Speaking at a media briefing ahead of the 15th Annual Manufacturers Month in Lusaka, ZAM President Ashu Saga said the country's manufacturing sector remains under pressure due to policy instability, high electricity tariffs, weak industrial financing and excessive tax burdens. He stressed that unless government swiftly addresses these systematic challenges, Zambia risks becoming a poorly import-driven economy. Meanwhile, ZAM board member Muhammad Umar said this year's Manufacturers Month, themed Driving Industrialization for Job and Wealth Creation, would spotlight regional trade opportunities and Zambia's competitiveness under the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, AfCFTA. So, from our estimates, in terms of the 2025 first quarter estimates, the GDP at current prices stood at 153.9 billion. Definitely the manufacturing sector is contributing to this economy. While this reflects steady progress, it falls short of the Vision 2030 target, which is 36% of contribution to GDP. And ZAM remains committed to bridging this gap by unlocking the sector's full potential to drive inclusive and sustainable economic development. Ladies and gentlemen, while we acknowledge the achievements and the interventions through policy with government, we must also confront certain structural issues and constraints that continue to limit industrial growth. Some of these, and not limited to, are the issues of unpredictable tax policy shifts, especially as we've seen in the middle of this year when new tax measures were introduced that targeted most of the manufacturing sector.
We will host a regional trade facilitation conference. This gathering of public and private sector leaders from across the region will focus on breaking down trade barriers, building strong linkages, and positioning Zambia as a key player in Africa's industrial growth story. We echo our President's powerful reminder that Zambia is not landlocked, but land-linked. And with this unique position at the heart of the region, we have an unparalleled opportunity to grow, to connect, and to lead the Africa industrial transformation.
Republican President Hakainde Hichilema has called for enhanced trade between Zambia and Botswana to improve the livelihoods of citizens in both countries and unlock new economic opportunities. Speaking at State House during the inaugural session of the Zambia-Botswana Bi-National Commission, President Hichilema emphasized that deepening economic ties through joint ventures and cross-border trade would not only benefit individuals but also strengthen the economies of both nations. He said addressing transport and logistical challenges, including at border points, is key to unlock. As President Duma Boko underscored the need for both countries to use their renewed partnerships to drive tangible progress in areas such as youth empowerment and skills development. He also praised Zambia for championing key regional infrastructure projects like the Kazungula Bridge and one-stop border post. The two countries signed 4 memoranda of understanding in areas including health and disaster risk management, along with rules to guide the future meetings of the Bi-National Commission.
Done that, we'll grow our economies, we'll create jobs, we'll create business opportunities, we will improve or enhance our treasury incomes, so we can look after the sick, the old, the young, those that live with disabilities. The story goes on. So, Mr. President, we are happy with this upgrade of our partnership to a bi-national council. And I think we want to fully utilize this so that two governments don't just speak politics. Yes, we need political stability. We need peace, security, absolutely. So we don't export instability to other countries. So the two of us must ensure that two countries that we secure within our boundaries and then across each other's borders. And we contain negative vices. We then can focus on the developmental agenda.
Two countries that have worked together, have related, and that relationship is a chronicle of deep friendship, deep connections, deep affinities. We are here to strengthen this relationship.
Government, in collaboration with the Road Transport and Safety Agency RATSA and the Zambia Police, has deployed more traffic officers to the Chingola-Solwezi Road, particularly in high-risk areas, to curb the rising number of road traffic accidents. Minister of Transport and Logistics, Frank Tayali, responding to a question from Member of Parliament for Solwezi East, Alex Katekwe, said the deployment includes increased speed checks, random inspections and stricter enforcement of traffic regulations along the stretch, which has become notorious for fatal crashes. Mr. Tayali also disclosed that the government is in the process of amending the 2016 Road Traffic Public Service Vehicles GPS regulations to make it mandatory for all public service vehicles to function a global positioning system GPS devices. He warned that PSV operators who tamper with the devices risk increased penalties or possible suspension of licenses.
In this regard, my ministry, collaborating with various government agencies, has initiated several urgent and medium-term measures to mitigate the increasing number of road accidents along the Chingola-Solwezi Road and other high-risk corridors. These include, but may not be limited to, the following, Madam Speaker. Number one, increased enforcement and patrols. Government, through the Road Transport and Safety Agency, in collaboration with the Zambia Police, deployed more traffic officers to conduct patrols, speed checks, and random inspections along the Chingola-Solwezi route especially along high-risk areas such as Mushindamo. 2. Leveraging technology. Government has commenced the process of amending the Road Traffic Public Service Vehicle Global Positioning System Regulation of 2016 in order to enhance road safety through the mandatory installation of functional global positioning systems, GPS, in public service vehicles. The amendment proposes to enhance enforcement, increasing the penalty units for PSV operators and drivers whose GPS devices are non-functional or have been tampered with.
Government has commended SEDCO for donating 10 bicycles to lead farmers in 2 districts of Northwestern Province to help curb mobility challenges that they face when reaching out to their fellow farmers while offering agricultural extension services. Northwestern Provincial Agriculture Coordinator Muyoba Shimabale has challenged the lead farmers to consider bicycles as tools that will help them reach more households and deliver greater impact in the agriculture sector. Mr. Shimabale was speaking when he graced the lead farmer model launch supported by SEDCO in Solwezi. And Northwestern Regional Sales Agroeconomist Austin Musonda says the objective of the lead farmer model is to produce farmers that are equipped with all the good agroeconomic practices, which results into good yields and food security. Meanwhile, Damasone Namusongo, a lead farmer of Mushindano district, assured the government and its cooperating partners that the lead farmers will be able to reach out to more households in their agricultural extension delivery.
Lead farmers have proven to be the most recommendable people who help in locating the last mile farmer in the agriculture sector. Hence the effort by SEDCO in launching the lead farmer model to improve the good agronomic practices among farmers in Northwestern Province. To kickstart the model, SEDCO has donated 10 bicycles to the lead farmers. The Northwestern Provincial Agriculture Coordinator, Muyobo Shimabale, graced the event.
So the bicycles being given to you as lead farmers should not be looked at as rewards, but they are tools which you are supposed to use to move in order to help you as lead farmers to reach more households, to monitor more fields, and to deliver greater impact. It is our hope that these bicycles will ease your mobility challenges and reinforce your commitment to this noble role. To our lead farmers who are gathered here today, you have been selected because of your passion, your influence, and your dedication. So you've not just been chosen anyhow, you've been chosen for a purpose. You are selected by using a certain criteria. And so it is hoped that that same criteria, that same motivation which you have, you continue with it, you continue riding with it as you continue to deliver this important task that you have been assigned with.
The Northwestern SEDCO Regional Sales Agronomist Augustine Musonda and Lusaka SEDCO Regional Sales Agronomist Denson Siame explained the objective of the lead farmer model.
We are going to produce a farmer who's going to have knowledge, a farmer who's going to be equipped with all the good agronomical practices, because most of the farmers, quite right, they can buy seed and fertilizers and other inputs. But what happens mostly is, if a farmer doesn't have that knowledge, a farmer is going to have a low production.
Basically what we're trying to say here is that there will be the farmers that are going to get the technology from our partners as well as from ourselves and share that technology with their peers or their fellow farmers in the communities where they come from.
Damason Navusongo, a lead farmer of Mushindamo district, has committed to reaching out to more farming households through the gesture.
Whatever that we did so far, we have done it when we were working on our folks. But now that we have these bicycles, we need to be able to do more. And as our PACO said, it is out of what we're going to do ourselves that we look forward to receive motorbikes at that time.
Chapunga Manengu reporting for NICE in Solwezi District.
This is the main news on Camnet TV. We'll now take a set of commercials. I will be back with some international stories as well as past news. Keep watching.
For immediate coverage of any breaking or latest news in Zambia and around the world on Camnet Television, call the numbers on your screen. Camnet Television, bringing to your screens fair news, impartial news, credible and reliable news all the time. Get the whole truth on Camnet World News. Camnet Television, not just another channel.
From time immemorial, we have had different types of lighting options, from those that can burn down our investments in minutes to those that dig holes in our pockets due to constant replacement and huge consumption of our ZESCO units. Savenda Electric introduces the new and advanced electric bulb with cutting-edge technology of LED that has low power consumption, gives out bright white light, and lasts up to 25,000 hours. Savenda Electric manufactures all types of LED light, like plastic LED fluorescent tubes, down lights, ceiling lights, outdoor fittings, and solar street lights made to customer specifications. Let's live on the bright side of life by choosing the wide range of Savenda electric lighting solutions that are available in all leading stores and supermarkets countrywide. For orders, call 0962 642 490 or email jnbunda@savenda.com or pchabula@savenda.com.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodland, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Renglow, your smart irrigation partner.
Enjoy the benefits of an instant loan with us ranging from 1,000 kwacha to 750,000 kwacha paid express once collateral is viewed, valued and verified. Call us on 0763 595 359 or 0779 432 993. Classified Financial Express, here as your financial friend.
Thank you so much for staying with us. And now in international news, the threat posed by Islamic State, ISIS and Al-QAIDA linked extremist groups is intensifying across Africa and Syria, according to a new report released by United Nations experts on Wednesday. The report identifies Africa as the current epicenter of global terrorist activity, with groups such as the German Austrian Al-Islam was Muslim Jenim in West Africa and Al-Shabaab in East Africa steadily expanding their areas of control. In the Sahel region, Jenim is reportedly carrying out increasingly sophisticated operations, including the use of drones and improved explosive devices, IEDs. Al-Shabaab, meanwhile, continues to maintain strongholds in Somalia and is reported to be strengthening ties with Yemen's Houthis rebels, broadening its regional influence. The report also highlights Syria's emerging role as a strategic base for both ISIS and Al-QAIDA external operations following the recent ouster of President Bashar al-Assad. Here is a roundup of international news.
The threat posed by Islamic State and Al-Qaeda extremists is escalating in Africa and Syria, according to a new UN report released Wednesday. UN experts say Africa remains the epicenter of terror activity, with groups like Al-Qaeda linked with JNIM in West Africa and Al-Shabaab in East Africa steadily expanding territory. In the Sahel, JNIM is reportedly capable of complex attacks involving drones and IEDs, while Al-Shabaab maintains strongholds in Somalia and deepened ties with Yemen's Houthi rebels. Syria is emerging as a key strategic base for both ISIS and Al-Qaeda's external operations following the ouster of President Bashar al-Assad. Over 5,000 foreign fighters were reportedly involved in the December offensive that toppled Damascus. Meanwhile, ISIS continues to threaten Europe and the Americas with radicalized individuals inspired online. The UN cited an ISIS-linked vehicular attack in New Orleans that killed 14 people, the deadliest in the US since 2016.
Mali's former Prime Minister Moussa Mara faced another day of questioning on Thursday over a message he posted on social media last month. French media outlet RFI reported that Mara was summoned to appear before a court specialised in cybercrime 2 weeks after an interrogation by the country's Judicial Investigation Brigade. Mara, who resigned his office in 2015, posted a message on social media in which he says he visited a number of political and civil society figures in prison, including journalist Ras Bath. There's been no official statement on why Mara is being questioned, but his use of the term prisoners of conscience may have irked authorities, with the implication that their detention is politically motivated. Mali is ruled by a military junta that seized power in 2021.
Slovenia has become the first European Union country to ban arms trade with Israel. This comes as international pressure mounts on Israel over the war in Gaza and the deepening humanitarian crisis. Ljubljana recognized a Palestinian state last year and has repeatedly called for a ceasefire and increased aid deliveries. Even though the head of EU diplomacy, Kaja Kallas, agreed to additional humanitarian aid, we want to see how the monitoring of the process will be carried out. We want details of humanitarian assistance, and we want this information released. But for Slovenia, it's clear all measures are on the table. We support, as we did in the past, the suspension of Israel's accession agreement, also trade sanctions, an arms embargo, sanctions against some settlers, some ministers in the Israeli government that support violence. All of the measures need to come as soon as possible until a ceasefire, until the violence has stopped, until we have a resolution between the two countries. Slovenia's Prime Minister Robert Golob on Thursday said Israel's action in Gaza constitutes serious violations of international law. Much of the Palestinian enclave is in ruins after almost 22 months of war. The United Nations has warned that conditions in Gaza threaten to push nearly 500,000 people into famine by the end of September.
Galatasaray has made history in Turkish football by securing the permanent signing of Nigerian striker Victor OSIMHEN from Napoli for a staggering 75 million euros, setting a new Super League transfer record. The move surpasses the previous high of 20 million euros paid by Fenerbahce for Yusuf El-Nesri, making OSIMHEN's arrival a landmark deal both for the club and Turkish football. The 26-year-old forward has signed a 4-year contract with a 10% sell-on clause following a sensational loan spell in which he scored 26 goals in 30 league appearances, helping Galatasaray to a league and cup double. His efficiency in front of goal, one goal every 89.4 minutes, made him the most lethal striker in the league last season. The transfer was officially confirmed on Thursday after prolonged negotiations. Head coach Okan Burak had previously hinted that the deal was nearing completion with a transfer fee that is 275% higher than the previous league record. The move signals Galatasaray's intent to establish dominance both domestically and in Europe. That's it for our main news tonight. Here is a recap of the stories making headlines. Police officer kills wife, her stepbrother, then himself after suspected family dispute. FIC AG reports useless CAAC. July basket needs and nutritional basket drops by 160 kwacha. In international news, UN report warns of escalating threat from Islamic State and Al-QAIDA in Africa and Syria. And in sports news, Galatasaray smashes transfer record with 75 million euros OSIMHEN signing. We now look at the Camnet verse for the day, coming from the book of Isaiah 53 verse 4. Surely he has borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God and afflicted. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Sylvia Zulu. Remember, you have been catching us live on Topstar channel 106 as well as on Kinstream app. We are also streaming live on Facebook, Camnet TV, as well as on our YouTube channel, Camnet TV. Thank you so much for watching. Good night and God bless you all.